Greetings, wrestling fans! Patrick here, and welcome back to another Smackdown review. Obviously, since you guys know my rules, if I'm reviewing the show, then I must have thought it was good. Yes, I honestly didn't hate this edition of Smackdown. I thought this one was pretty good, and it actually, lived up to the expectations of it being a show after WrestleMania. We had a few call-ups, and in my opinion, that's what sold it for me. And we also had a really good match between Sasha Banks and Liv Morgan. So the show began with Ronda Rousey, of course it did. She came out, had a little fit, had a little cry because she didn't win at WrestleMania. And then this woman has the damn balls in her promo to say that her mother told her to not make excuses, when her entire shtick is making excuses. Her entire shtick is making excuses. Oh, you don't make excuses, Miss Rousey? Then you pissed off for 3 years once Becky Lynch beat your ass. You pissed off for 3 years once Becky Lynch beat your ass. And then you make excuses that, oh, I made Charlotte tap out at WrestleMania, but the referee didn't see it, so I got robbed. Yeah, I don't make excuses. My ass. You're full of excuses. So then she challenged Charlotte Flair to an I Quit match, and Charlotte said no. We know WWE are going to make this match official, we just know they will. Then we had Xavier Woods go one-on-one with Butch, Pete Dunne, whatever you want to call him. And Xavier Woods would end up with the victory. This was an alright match. This match was alright. I'm not the biggest fan of Pete Dunne. Never really have been a big fan of him. But I will say, this match was alright. It was alright for what it was. And then we had the England debut of GUNTER! Yeah, we had the debut of GUNTER! Or Walter, as he was once previously called. And I don't normally bag on the music because I don't normally really care. But what was with that music? I mean, I don't normally complain about the music as much as I do anymore, but what the heck happened to Imperium's music? I know people were worried that WWE were going to change it, but I don't know how I feel about this one. And I know some people will be thinking, oh, finally, Patrick's nitpicking about music. Oh, it's all Def Rebel's fault. It ain't Def Rebel. It ain't their fault. It's WWE's fault. They're the ones that told them to make the music. And I thought, and at the second time, and secondly, I didn't think they'd change it because the Imperium theme is a Def Rebel track. Whatever, it is what it is, unfortunately. There's nothing we can really do about it. But I like to look at the positive of things. Despite the weird music, despite that, GUNTER looked really good, smashing and destroying this job guy. And Marcel Barthel, he is now being named Ludwig. He reminds me of a character from Super Mario. That name alone instantly makes me think of Ludwig von Koopa from the Super Mario series. So GUNTER would defeat the local talent. I mean, as he should. Because it's a local talent. Then we have more Happy Corbin nonsense. Happy Corbin blames Madcap Moss for his loss at WrestleMania because of course he does. Of course he does. I mean, like, he can't... of course he's going to blame somebody else for his own failures. And And this leads to Madcap Moss turning face. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about it. We'll just see how it all turns out, I guess. I guess we'll just see how it turns out. But right now, I'm not very optimistic about this. Then we had Drew McIntyre battle Sami Zayn. Drew McIntyre won by countout. Sami Zayn fled through the crowd. Yeah, it is what it is. It's your typical heel Sami Zayn match. And then we get the reveal of Lacy Evans, who will be making her in-ring return. Well, not really. It's more she discussed her difficult paths of transforming into the woman that she is today. She didn't sound like she was the sassy Southern Belle anymore. I hated the whole sassy Southern Belle character, and you guys know how I feel about Lacy Evans. I think she's atrocious. She's awful. But I'm going to remain optimistic here. I do not mind they're changing her character. This is the one character change I can actually embrace. This is the one character change I can embrace. I will let this go for a couple of weeks, and then I'll give my opinions on Lacy Evans. She seems to be in the position of being a babyface, which, honestly, I can probably tolerate her more as a babyface. But, as I said, if she's gotten better, if she's improved in the ring, I will maybe give her a chance. There's no promises on that. They seem to be more going towards her, goes towards her background, which I'm all for. So, I look forward to what she brings to the table. As I said, I will remain optimistic. Then we get Liv Morgan battling Sasha Banks in a very, very good match. And to my shocking surprise, Liv Morgan won the match clean. Not with her finisher. That's my only complaint. But she caught Sasha Banks off of a superplex to pin her for the 1-2-3. Sasha's only been champion for a week and she's already taking losses. Great start. But she hasn't been pinned since the draft. So I will let that slide. I've got zero issues with Liv Morgan beating Sasha Banks, by the way. The only thing I would change is having Liv Morgan hit her finisher on Sasha Banks and pinning her that way. That would be the only thing I'd change. Everything else is fine. So yeah, that's really all I got to say about that match. And then the main event was Roman Reigns talking about the next path for the Bloodline. And the next path for the Bloodline is to capture the Raw Tag Team titles, and Roman wants the Usos to unify the Raw Tag Team titles with the Smackdown Tag Team titles. Which, honestly, if that gets Randy Orton away from Matt Riddle, I'm all for it. If that gets Randy away from Riddle, I'm all for it. Completely honest. And then Nakamura came out and confronted Roman Reigns. So it sounds like Nakamura and Roman Reigns is the feud that they are going with, and I am all for it. So that is your SmackDown review. I definitely enjoyed this show, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that thumbs up, comment your thoughts and opinions down below, and I will see you all next time.